Hello, welcome to my Christmas lights show. I thought people might be interested to see what's involved in putting it up and how long it takes and the setup that's involved. So I've currently done a few little bits and pieces. So at the minute I have already put up a rather large flake up there, which involved some ladder work, and cabled it in. And I've also got the flake up here for the window, which has been relocated, and the other flake at that end because I'm testing the cable runs. I have this batten work for the big props that's installed all year round on the mansard roof using solar panels fixings, and I also have the outlines and the windows that are up all year round and have been up for the last 4 years and function quite happily. So I'm now just going to put up a set of icicles on this top gutter and the connections between the uprights there and the ground floor, and then we should be able to run a test in a minute. So I'll show you what goes on in a sec. So these are the outlines that are made from trunking, tool station trunking, which I've pre-drilled and then pushed the pixels into. These are normal bullet pixels, so this kind of size profile. These are square pixels, so they give me a flatter trunking which I lay on the roof, and this connects the ground floor uprights to the upper floor verticals, all through the standard connectors. Now I always make a point of spraying these with electrical contact cleaner and WD-40 to try and keep as much moisture out as possible, and over the summer when these were disconnected last year, I put a connector in the end to try and protect that end of the socket, but I don't know what it will look like. In fact, we'll have a quick look and see. Oh yeah, they're quite clean and brassy still, so a bit of squirt of contact cleaner and a few ins and outs, and hopefully they will survive another season, and then I'll clean them up again when I put them away. So I'll show you in a minute. Right, so we've got the two uprights on the roof up, connected at both ends. The system's currently live and it flashed at me, so that means it's got data running to it. So that will now give me upright down here, upright up there, and upright all the way up there, and then that one will do the same, upright up here. Also included is the window in this one and the top vertical there. Now I'm just going to do the icicles, which are down here. So we've got quite a long run of icicles. They're all on one line because they're separated into submodels. So I will put those up, and then we'll run a test on what we've got up there and see if it all functions. The clips I use are gutter clips like this, which have been reversed and then have a pipe bracket fitted to them so that they keep it exactly in line with the gutter, and they can be taken off each year, but as you see they get a bit brittle, so they snap off, so I have to replace them every now and again. They're not very UV stable, it seems. And of course I'll take the opportunity to clear the gutter out because it's a bit disgusting. Anyway, I'll show you this in a sec. Right, so as I expected, all 5 of the clips broke because, like I said, they're not very UV stable, but luckily they're quite easy to put in, and they're not very expensive. They're actually Primaflow overflow pipe clips, 15 pack for 70p from Wix, so I don't mind replacing them, but obviously I can't take these down. So the icicles now, which are up here, are ready to go on, which I'll do in a sec, and then we'll have a test. Whilst we're here, you can have a quick scrutiny of this thing. New prop for this year, 981 pixels, King's Ransom flake from Gilbert Engineering. UK supplier is Builder Light Show. Yeah, I mean, beast of a thing when it's populated because it's really quite heavy. You can see I've fitted it there with M10 bolts, which I put on some brackets on the wall. And because I'm quite sheltered, I'm hoping that'll stay there, and then obviously I'll put the cabling in, some ducting to run it down. Everything on the house is connected inside this mansard roof. I built a priest hole in the roof a few years ago in the summer and hid the controller inside this roof. So yeah, the wife went out to work one day and I just cut a hole in the roof and stuck the controller up there, and then everything cables back to that. So that runs the house, the outlines, all the props on these brackets. The garden is a separate controller, and then the matrix panel, which goes just here on the wall, will go up probably tomorrow. Now we've got the cabling out of the way. today, and then yeah, we'll see where we go from there. We'll be 50% done or thereabouts. Right, I'm just going to put this up and then we will give it a test. So this is my little X-Lights station. It is dedicated just to X-Lights, doesn't do anything else. So I've got a couple of screens there, so I can see the lower screen and the upper screen. And then this is the priest hole that I cut in the in the mansard roof one summer. Yeah, so and then the controller's hidden up here so that everything's able to be connected up. So we'll try a sequence I've got here. You can see if it works like I will. We'll test it live. So if I hit play on Taking Care for Christmas, you won't hear any music, and then we'll go outside and we'll see how much of it is working. I suspect most of it. Maybe the icicles might give me problems, and possibly the uprights, but we'll find out in a sec. Let's have a look. So if we step back, right, so the icicles are doing their thing. Yeah, the upright is there. Yeah, I'd say that one's got a problem on the upper vertical, because it's not doing anything above the King's Ransom, which had a problem last year. A bit of a sod to get to fix. The bedroom outline's working, the hall outline is working, the flake is working. So it's a pixel dead in that upright, and I can see where it's stopping. It's about 10 up, which is quite helpful. And of course everything's grown up again this year, so it's covering up all of it. But so far that's a fairly successful test. I'm happy with that. You can see the flakes are doing their thing. Yeah, King's Ransom's going mad. They're working. That one's working. Again, bit of an issue there. So this first flake here, as measured, this is 8 metres to this one. I've got an 8 metre lead made up from a proper soldered joint. Didn't want to know, back-fed power into the output of this flake to try and balance the voltage. Still didn't want to know. Eventually I had to put an amplifier in here to kick up the data to cut across there. We're only talking 278 pixels, and it's only an 8 metre run, but it didn't like it. Some of my other props, I've got 650 on one output, and they're perfectly happy. Although they're obviously 650 in one line, they're not joined by an 8 metre length. But even 8 metres, it's pushing it. But that's going to be fun, having to get up there and try and mend that pixel up there. I can see where it is. It's about number 10. Great. Okay. Trials and tribulations of doing this. So after a successful start, I thought I'd show you the prop store, where everything lives for the entire rest of the year when it's not stuck on the house or out in the drive. But it's quite a substantial amount of stuff that you have to accommodate, to be perfectly honest. This is a fabulous hobby, and it's a real thrill to watch it come alive and dance all over the house, and everybody come and stand and look at it in awe. But my God, it's not for the faint-hearted. You know, you need I won't lie, you need to spend quite a lot of money to have a huge number of props, because you need a lot of pixels and they take up a huge amount of space. You know, there's 12 arches here, which take up quite a considerable amount of space. There's 12 flakes down there. That's all the stars there. There's a controller for the garden. There's the other controller that goes out on the garden, all the extension leads. 8 canes, spiral trees, all the spin-R keys. Anyway, I don't think, obviously I'm not going to get all this up in one weekend. It's 2 or 3 weekends work, which is why I'm starting on the 2nd of November. But yeah, you'll join me tomorrow when we'll carry on with the house and go from there. So yeah, see you soon. Good morning, day 2 of the installation of the house side of the Pixel show. I'm just going to put the Pixel panel up, which is basically what people seem to think is the TV, which in essence it is. It's just a very crude television. It's made up of very, very small pixels, but thousands of them. It's exactly the same as a television works, except that there's thousands of these per inch in a television, and in fact in here there are 18 panels of 1024 pixels, which makes a grand total of 18,634 pixels, which is how the program looks at it. It considers them to be exactly the same as the big pixels on the props. It just they're just much smaller, but it still decodes the information in the same way. So much so that this actually requires its own computer to run this number of pixels. So it's actually got its own Raspberry Pi in the back, These are the back of the pixels panels, which are all interlinked together. You could increase this if you wanted to make it even bigger, but it fits the purpose for where I am. Got its own power supply running in there which runs it all, and then it connects via a data cable to the main programmer which runs the programs. So I'll put this up and then we can get the last of the house props up, and then we'll go from there. Right, see you later. Okay, so got the props for the house out of the loft. So we've got 2 dazzlers, the Grand Illusion, flakes, poles. There's a couple of other bits, icicles and paths, which I haven't got down yet because they're not stored in the loft, they're stored in the shed. So I will now get on and put these up, and then we'll be ready to test everything, hopefully. Okay, so here we are, end of day 2. Poles in the garden are up, all the props on the house are up, everything's all wired in, everything's all been checked, just running a quick test sequence. Everything seems to be doing what it should be doing, when it should be doing it. So still got the path to do, but that's a good weekend. We're halfway there, I suppose, so I've got to get the rest of it out of the loft yet, which is always good fun. But yes, looking forward to the start on the 30th of November.